I'm going to call this observations of recluse, probably. I'm sat here watching it rain. It's so cold. I can feel the ache in my joints, pain of the arthritis. I cried on my yoga mat today because of the ache in my hands. Oh, and I have a really good example in my family of what's going to look like. And my grandmother had all the things I have, and it's not going to look good. She did things clear up until her 80s, but it was man, she couldn't curl her fingers. She couldn't make a fist for, gosh, 30 years of her life at the end there. It was quite a long time. So I get in my feelings every once in a while thinking, oh, that's my future. But I think the thing I want to talk to you today about is more about how I think it's important that we keep some kind of balance in the world for good intentions and good feelings, because there is so much bad and so much scary stuff. And I just want to kind of focus on a good thing or a thing that we can all do that um, makes things a little bit better. And I think that that starts with understanding things and calling them what they are and being honest about them, even though it doesn't feel good sometimes to be honest about what things are. And I just want to tell you, love waits. Love waits. It waits for the right moment in time for the right thing. And that's beautiful to me. Love waits. And I can tell you exactly what I mean by that is that I was, I think, 34 before I met my husband. And that's incredible. I used to just feel virulent hate for women. Not true hate, I guess, but I was just envious to the bones of me. My teeth would tingle with the pain of having to deal with the fact that other people were happy, other people were loved, other people were, and a consequence of growing up utterly unloved is that you desire that like a addict desires their high. It's and the more I understand dopamine and the more I understand how the brain just craves all of these chemicals, make these happy chemicals for me, make them, or I'll give you nothing but cortisol and I'll just keep you in a state of fight or flight. The more I come to understand all of those things were at play on me, and I use my somewhat exceptional memory to just recall those times and see them anew, I understand why love waited for me. I understand why whatever it is that you want to call the way things work. If you want to call that a divine hand, if you want to think of that as the universe, if you want to think about it as destiny, anything like that, whichever way, the result's the same. And that is that things don't come to you until you're ready for them, even though you want them badly and you want them with everything in you. And I think that a goal in life should be being worthy of love and being a good lover and being someone that is good at loving and caring about people. And it's really hard to do that without being willing to suffer and to be put into pain. And it is painful to be without it as well. And that would be the point that I'd like to make to you today is that it hurts to be with people that don't love you correctly and don't love you the way that you need and give you trouble and hurt you and do things. It's also very painful to be alone. And it hurts even more to think like, oh man, someone's out there that is just the other piece of my thing, whatever way you want to look at that, soulmate, um, whatever. And they're just not with me. And it hurts. It's hard to think about it like that. But if that's your soul's focus, you're not going to find them. And they used to say that to people. They used to say, well, you've got to stop looking because that's your problem right there. It's because you're looking. And I'm not going to tell you that. I don't think that's what it is. I think that the better way to say that very same thing would be to say, you need to look inwards instead of outwards. It's very, very critically important that everybody of any age looks inwards and thinks about themselves and what they're doing and being honest about the answer. And if you don't like the answer, shouldn't you do something about that instead of be mad about you or say, well, I'm just this thing. You don't have to be anything you don't want to be, that you don't like being. you know. You have so much more control than you'd imagine, and when your thoughts are outwards and what other people see, um, and that's just the outside of your body, you have so many more things about you, and that you do, that your impact on people genuinely doesn't really have anything to do with how you look. It is so much more about how you feel and what you want. And when you get up in the morning and you greet the day and you have to go and interact with people, are you afraid? Are you respectful? Do you care? Whether or not you insult people? Like, are you considerate to others? These are valuable things about whether or not you're worthy of being loved. And you need to remember that. I think people don't think about that. I've seen countless people who wouldn't hesitate to be incredibly rude or mean to strangers and then turn and be perfectly nice to their family. And that's not all right. You know, that's not, or it's very often it's the opposite, isn't it? They're very, very, very kind to others and would bend over backwards for them because they don't want to be seen in that way. They don't want to be seen as the truth, as the cruel person that they really are. It's very easy to hide that. And those people are loved and have massive structures built around them. And they did that. They did that on purpose to protect themselves because they knew people don't build that kind of foundation unless they intend on behaving that way. You need to think about that. So, what does love wait for? Love waits for you to get your shit together, buddy. That's what it's doing. That's the whole point of all of this. Let's get our shit together. Let's think about this for a minute and understand and sit with the thing that makes us the most uncomfortable, which is our loneliness, our painful, painful loneliness. You can drop the politics, you can drop the bullshit, and you can just be you, the painful child that you are, and understand that you can love that, that it is your job to love that. It's not anyone else's. Man, woman, they, them, anyone, doesn't matter. It's your job to love you. And at the end of the day, if you need someone else to love you to make the pain of being alive okay, then you're not doing the work inside yourself that you need to be doing. And you can do that. It's free. It's fully free. It just takes a little bit of time. And once you accomplish that, once you get into a habit, because that's a muscle, caring about yourself is fully a muscle, and it fully atrophies in lots and lots of women, lots of mothers. As a mother myself, I can speak from that perspective. I understand that it is really hard to care about yourself when you care about so many people, and it is so hurtful that they don't care about you like that. They can't. You spend so much time considering them, worried for them, thinking about them, preparing things for them, washing things for them, doing all of these things for them. And then what they do for you is give you fucking attitude, man. It's hard, but you got to keep loving them, and you have to allow yourself to become bigger on the inside to encompass the amount of difficulty that they give you. And that is part of love waiting as well. Because you're waiting on them to become better people so that they don't do those kinds of things. And it's you that has to tell them that. You have to show them what that looks like. And it looks like letting people do things and talking to them and making sure they know for sure what they did and why they shouldn't be doing it. And that is vitally important for everyone. Everyone. No creed, no color, no place that you're from, no religion, no nothing can get in the way of that. That is just an immutable truth in the world that you must learn yourself so that you do not harm others. That's all I got. I just wanted to complain a little minute.